we saw a pretty hefty sell-off last night. And it kind of, or yesterday, it kind of shocked people. And this is one of the graphs that I try to keep an eye on because it shows me what really the non-Bitcoin and Ethereum market is doing. So just raise your hand if you can see this chart here on the screen. Yeah. And so what this is this is the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the stable coins. And you can see what happened is it was really approaching this mark here, a couple of days ago, looking like it was even going to go up to like $1 trillion in non-Bitcoin, not Ethereum stuff. And then all of a sudden it went from about 880 billion all the way down. It really went below 800 billion. So basically $80 billion was lost in a lot of our favorite coins that we know and love. And that could be Cardano, that could be Dogecoin, that could mean Story Protocol, which we're now up 42x on as a protocol. That could be Mochaverse, one of our other big wins. And so what happened is the altcoin market just took a little bit of a hit, and altcoin season took a day or two off before it's now coming back with a vengeance. And you can see it's gone really from about this level of, about 800 down, it's already rallying back. So we saw this big move down here over the course of a night, and then we saw it really come right back. We believe that this is probably going to come up here and break this kind of $1 trillion mark when it comes to the value of all of those tokens. And that's what alt season is going to do. And a lot of you know, I look at this metric here called the altcoin season index. This is really important if you're in crypto. Now you can see this graph here. Now, a lot of you say, Brian, I don't know what you're talking about. It's really simple. If you take the top 100 coins out there over the last 90 days, and you pick which ones outperform Bitcoin and which ones underperform Bitcoin, well, right now, 70 of those coins have outperformed Bitcoin. So you see some real big winners up here, like Aster, which is a DEX on Binance, MYX. You see IP, that's ours, Martini. That's our token here, which is the fourth best performing token out there. Martini put some money in this thing a couple of years ago, as did I. There's a guy in our group named Jose. He put $50,000 on his deal. That one investment of $50,000 is now worth over $2 million. Now, when Jose comes to our events around the world, he always brings his 3 sons with him. So I guess he's got to split that amongst the family, right, Martini? So that's $500,000 each. But it just goes to show you how much money can be made in these tokens. But look, as we go down the list here, you see tons of tokens that have outperformed Bitcoin. And then you see Bitcoin here in orange. And so there's 30 tokens below it. Some are actually down on the 90-day period. Most are up. And this is the altcoin season index. You can see here, when this gets above 75, we consider it altcoin season. When it's below 25, basically Bitcoin's outperforming everything, and you better just own Bitcoin. Right now, owning Bitcoin is the stupidest thing you can do because we expect most of these coins to outperform it. Now, when we get into a bear market, which we're expecting next year, then you want to be in Bitcoin or in stable coins, or heck, maybe you just want to stick your money under your mattress at that point. But right now you want to be in these higher risk coins because they can get crazy returns. I mean, our token story is up 300% in 3 months. That's insane. That's insane. I worked on Wall Street for 15 years. I've never seen an asset move like a crypto asset. So we're watching this. The altcoin index went all the way down to 63. It's back up to 70. I actually believe it's going to be back at over 75 by the end of the week. And I think we'll be back on our journey. But welcome to crypto, folks. It's a volatile market. And so the market's freaking out, $200 billion loss. I get it. The truth is, it's usually the kids on Twitter that are panicking and selling. Nobody in our investment club panics and sells. We got 150 people. We've been investing for almost 5 years. We've invested over $20 million. We're making boatloads of cash behind the scenes. We don't panic like a bunch of punks do out there. Plus, we all know each other. We talk to each other. Now, look, if you're in a basement somewhere, in the dark, and you're following all the news on crypto, then yeah, you probably panic sell. If none of your friends like crypto and they tell you you're crazy for the 400th time, then yeah, you probably sell your crypto. But we know what we're doing on the inside. And we don't have what they call paper hands. That means you sell whenever you get a little scared. Like we don't do that. We know where we're going. We got a 10-year plan. And the plan is that everyone's going to be filthy rich in 10 years. So that's what we're doing. Great to see a bunch of our members here. Shout out to Steve Rice on our current DA program. Shout out to Doreen on our current DA program as well. And if your name is Zoom attendee, either your mama didn't love you, or you need to go into the Zoom software and put your name up there. John Connolly figured it out. I think there's a 3 dots there, but if you could tell us your name, we would really appreciate it. I use my real name. We like real names here. Unlike in most of crypto, people use fake names, but we use real names. So last chance to turn cameras on, and let's jump into it, folks, because this sell-off freaked a lot of people out, and I just want to talk about it and make sure that we can get our head around it. Hands up if you can see this on screen. So again, what we're looking at here is a sudden $200 billion crypto sell-off. And again, it sparks these fresh Bitcoin price crash fears. People were saying this could mean when Bitcoin goes to 90,000 and 80,000. I don't buy it. It's already back up to 13. And I feel like it stays strong here. We just had a Fed rate cut, but we're going to talk about this shortly. Look, before we get started, I want to say this presentation is for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you are looking for that, please go find a professional. Also, I'd like to give you this free gift to start, and that is module 1 of our super premium program called the Investment Club. This is where we're making all of our money behind the scenes. This is a 19-page document. It's going to show you how startups raise money on the blockchain. If you are watching this later or on live stream now, you can go to londonreal.tv/download. But for all the beautiful souls that decided to join us at londonreal.tv/Zoom, I'm actually going to send you this module. And if everybody could just hit reply and let me know if you got this. And by the way, thank you all for putting some of your names up there. I appreciate that. It would be pretty cool if your mom called you Zoom attendee, you know, she would have been very thinking ahead of the game there. But I'm going to send you this module. Check your chat now on Zoom and just reply yes if you receive that. So Jackie, did you get that? Jackie's all over. Jackie's the first one to do it. And she you know your Zoom, don't you, Jackie? And Michael Jones, thanks for putting your name there as well. And Doreen, I like that picture, but I like your face better. So definitely show us your beautiful face there. Thank you, Michael Jones. I appreciate that. So read that when your spare time. Don't do it now if you can't pay attention to this, but that is some really good information that'll show you how we're making all of our money behind the scenes. I also want to give you a free video, and I'm going to give you the link to this video at the end of the presentation. So just stay till the end, and it's going to show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. I will explain what that is shortly, but it's going to show you how we use these special legal documents called SAFs and safes to make a lot of money. What is a pre-sale token, Brian? What are you talking about? I've never heard of these. And that's the crazy thing. We are the only people that is teaching this and the only people giving you access to the hottest deals on the planet. A pre-sale token is what we do. We secretly buy tokens from CEOs of blockchain companies before anybody in the public gets access to them. Then a week later, a month later, 2 months later, they go live on an exchange like Coinbase or Binance. Then millions of people go scrambling for those tokens, and many, many times those token prices go up. Has anyone ever heard of an IPO before? John, you heard of that before? Michael, you heard of that? An IPO is an initial public offering, and it's what happens when the very first time you can buy a share of stock. Facebook did one about 10 years ago, and the price went up crazy during the day because it was the first time people could buy some. We do the same thing with tokens, and that's how we're making all of our money behind the scenes. By the way, folks, this is a token called Solana. How many people have heard of this? It's called Solana. Jackie, you probably know. Michael, John knows Solana. That's good. Well, did you know you could have bought this as a pre-sale token for pennies on the dollar? I bet a lot of you didn't. You could have bought this for 4 pennies each. Right now, it's trading about 200, 230 bucks each. If you would put $1,000 on this pre-sale token deal, like we do every week behind the scenes, that one investment of $1,000 would be worth over 5 million bucks. Think about that. $5 million from one deal with a very tiny amount invested. Now, who here could use an extra 5 million bucks? Anybody here? Jackie's like, no, Brian, keep your money. Michael's like, no, I don't need another Bugatti in the driveway, Brian. Okay, that's fine. Well, maybe you give it away, Michael. Maybe maybe you put it aside to something else. But the truth is that 5 million bucks, it could really help you in your life, and it could help you maybe just get a little bit of breathing room to figure out what you really want to do. And that's why we like these deals. Folks, this is a pre-sale token deal we did just a few months ago, and this is the legal document, the SAFT agreement that I signed right here. Can everyone see that blue circle on the screen there? That's the amount we invested. That's our typical investment amount of $200,000. Can everyone see this red circle here? That's the price we paid per token. Now, John, that's not $1.25. That's 1.25 pennies. So we got these cheaper than we actually got them. And then you could have bought Solana tokens. We got them cheaper. Now, what happens? Well, in about 4 hours, we made $4 million as the company called Skillful AI, which is AI on the blockchain, went public on an exchange with their token. We were up 20x at the launch. And of course, Zoltan here, the CEO, came by and had an episode on London Real, because that's what we also give away when we invest in companies. After the show, Zoltan said, Brian, this is going to 100x. That's soon going to be worth $20 million. I said, great. And then he shocked me, totally shocked me, Jackie. He said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. I want access to your deals. I said, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. You know, you're a bigwig when it comes to crypto. You're on all the stages at all the crypto conferences. I said, surely you see better deal flow than I do. He said, no, you have a massive media company with 1 billion views and 5 million subscribers. He said, you get better deals than I do. You get cheaper tokens, and you get the tokens faster than I do. I want in. And I said, okay, well, there's one way to join. You got to book a call with Martini. I'll give you her number, but I'll tell you one thing. She doesn't do discounts, so don't even try. Don't even try. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, he joined the club. And so I find this to be one of the greatest testimonials we've ever had. Not only does our London Real family, 150 people so far, kind of join this club, but one of our portfolio company CEOs also joined, and he's on the Zoom calls with you on a Monday or a Thursday. Is that pretty cool? Is everyone kind of like that? So you've got a real dude in the trenches alongside of you and all the rest of our London Real family, and we really like it that way. Folks, this is another deal we did called Shrapnel. This is actually a video game on the blockchain. And on that deal, we did a 20x in 20 days and made my group a $5 million profit. Then we did the Mochaverse. This thing was up 20x on the launch. And this is the digital ID system of a massive conglomerate called Animoca Brands. And I was actually on the phone today with one of their guys in Hong Kong. And they're doing some really exciting things that should pump the value of our tokens even higher. I'm going to see them all next week in Singapore, as well as this gentleman here, who is Yatsu, the chairman of Animoca Brands. He really is the next Elon Musk, in my opinion, a very wise man. He's been on the show about 7 times, and we've done a lot of deals with him. And this is another one of our big wins. Folks, this is the big one of the day. It's called Story Protocol, and this is up 42x for my members. So far, we've made a $21 million profit for them. And this was the first deal we did with a large venture capital company called Andreessen Horowitz. And this is the biggest VC in the world. And I still remember this, Martini, back in 23 when they pitched us. This guy, Sai, came on, who's actually in Korea this whole week, signing up everybody in Korea for this protocol. All the filmmakers, because Korean filmmaking is like the big deal now, right? With these movies like Parasite. He's signing up all the K-pop bands. He's signing everybody on this protocol. He's dropping stuff like literally his Twitter is like a crazy feed. And we knew, first of all, Sai has an amazing vision of the future. The intellectual property market is an $80 trillion market. And they're building a blockchain for intellectual property. And with AI coming up, it's very hard to protect your IP. And the story token is just going up and up and up and up and up. And I just don't know when it's going to stop, to be honest. And so that's why one of our members, Jose, invested $50,000, and that one investment's worth over $2 million. This is something you can do too, but you have to be willing to join this club. You probably got to go into some of your fears. You probably got to take a risk, but on the other side of your risks, as I always say, is everything you've ever dreamed of. Folks, this is the first meme coin we did. It was called Cats. It was up 14x on launch. And one of our members, Christina, put in $30,000 on this deal with her mom, woke up to a $420,000 profit. Not bad for a Wednesday morning. And of course, this is our $1 billion fund called 1RT. We've already done a 4x on this fund. Honestly, if we had done a 20%, it would have been massive. But Dan Tapiero, the trader in this fund, pictured with me here, came back and gave us 4 times on our money. And he's actually not finished yet. We got incredible access to this deal. Martini's in this deal. Martini's in Story Protocol as well. And he's going to be back on the Investment Club call October 9th to tell us how much money we made and also to tell us about how we can invest in his next fund called 50T Holdings. The minimum investment for an average investor is $10 million to get into his fund, but we can get you in for much, much less because of the relationship we had with Dan. And so we'll be talking about that opportunity on October 9th. Definitely put that in your calendar. Folks, now I want to share with you some of our latest deals. And these are literally the deals we're investing in. What you're going to see here is not only the deals, but you're going to see the format on how we get pitched these deals. Every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. UK time, you can attend a live session where CEOs come on and pitch their companies. It's pretty cool, actually. And I highly recommend you come, and you can literally see the format. Look, some of the terms might go over your head, but I guarantee you're going to learn very, very, very fast. And that's what we do. We all watch as a collective. If we get enough people that give the thumbs up, and you'll see it here, then we invest as a group. And that's the thing. We don't invest your money. We allow you to make a decision. And we love this deal called Synergetics. It's done by an MIT Sloan School professor. They're talking to Google, Google Ventures, and he's got a patent on this A-to-A technology. Check it out.
I think it's really incredible.
Great presentation. The guy definitely knew what he was talking about.
This is their multi-billion-dollar unicorn legacy play.
I have a track record of actually delivering on startups. That's just me. This is me in the Agentic AI working group at MIT. We got written up in Forbes and MSN organically. And then we were also highlighted by NVIDIA at the Microsoft conference. And we have partnerships with Google, Plug and Play, Guidewire, and so on. So we are sort of like the creme de la creme of the people on this decentralized AI. We are a company that's powering the agent economy, avatars, chatbots, voice agents, and embedded systems. So the market for this is roughly $70 billion, and we believe that we can take a market share of about $7 billion out of this. We have actually deployed agents in the field. We are currently generating revenues. This year we plan to crack low 7 digits.
Show me some thumbs here, please, everybody on the call. So Camille likes it, Christopher Molson likes it, Petia likes it, Daniel Walker likes it. We got Jacqueline Capstick with 2 thumbs up, 2 up from Paul, 2 up from Henry Shiner.
I think this can be a real success. I do see the differentiators with the many other agentic plays we've seen.
He really knows his stuff, his experience. I think it's really incredible.
I'm actually working for a financial institution, and we're currently implementing a lot of the AI agents that he's talking about.
You don't teach at MIT Sloan unless you're somebody that's up there. And he's had successful exits for large amounts of money.
We're investing in an expert in his field, and he is at the top of his level.
All right, we're liking Synergetics, right? We're about to close that thing out, Martini. I think we got about 20K left in that deal. And our members can come in for as little as $5,000 on those deals. The next one I want to show you is called Singularity. I actually haven't released this deal yet. It's probably going to come out in the next day or so. We love this one because it's basically a place where you can do dark pools of investments. A dark pool is when you want to keep things quiet, which is very hard to do on the blockchain because everything's public. But what happens when Citibank or Amazon wants to move around $1 billion of stablecoins? They're going to need a way to do it. Also, big traders, buyers and sellers, they don't want the market to know what they are doing. Right now, all you have to do is monitor their wallet address. This group, Singularity, they have really high tech. It's called ZK Proof Technology, which is zero knowledge. It's an amazing group. They've already been contacted by CZ of Binance, one of the biggest players out there, himself probably worth $200-300 billion. And we really like this deal. It's called Singularity.
I think these guys really crushed it.
It's an amazing project.
The fact that CZ reached out recently tells you it's important.
Everybody's going to want to be in on it.
So what's Singularity? In short, it's an on-chain dark pool privacy infrastructure. We are very institutional focused because who wants privacy, right? Those who do large transactions, they don't want their wallets to be tracked. People generally track wallets and track transactions if they think that you, the user, know something more than them. And typically it's the institutions who may have a bit more advantage information. I was very active in DeFi. And one of the things that I found weird was everyone could see my transactions online. You've traded token A for token B at X price. But here, going through our contracts, there's no details of your transaction, and that's the key. It protects you from front-running methods like sandwich attacks, MEV bots. They're common ways for others to try and make money from your orders before your orders are firm. And the market size, it is huge. It's 1.1 trillion, and there's no active player in the dark pool space yet.
2 thumbs up if you are interested. So Tommy and Dee, that's 4 thumbs from that household. Zone's got 2, Melody's got 2, Paul's got 2, Trevor's got 2, Camille's got 2, Christopher is in, Todd is in, Hettia is in, Eric's in, Michael's in, Mark Fay is in, Adam's in. I think that's pretty much 100%, folks.
Great technology. I don't know if you all noticed, but it's the last 200K of their raise. So they've already got their money.
What she's solving and focused on, or the company is focused on, provides a lot of value.
I like the idea. These guys are very focused on what they're doing.
I think this would be a great trade for us. All right, we like that, right? I love this Singularity deal, Martini. I can't wait to release it and start funding it. We got that, and we got another one called Crypto Nights, which is like Shark Tank for crypto that we're just closing out right now. So what you see there is what we do every Monday and Thursday. We don't miss a beat. Sometimes it's 1 CEO, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3. And they come, they pitch to us, and we get some of the hottest deals on the planet. And it's a great format. If you actually message Martini right now, she can get you on our next Monday or Thursday call, and you can really just check it out. It's a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot. You'll get to feel the community, and you get to see why we're having so much success. And speaking of that, we've been asked recently, how does London Real pick so many winners? How do you do a 42x on Story Protocol? How do you do a 20x on Mochaverse? How do you do a 14x on Cats? How do you keep getting these massive returns? And we thought about it long and hard, and we realized that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The truth is we've been doing this for almost 5 years. We were investing in things like Story Protocol when nobody wanted to hear about crypto, right? It was the bear market. And yet we were there in the trenches cutting checks, big fat checks. And that's the reason that we're getting these big payouts. Now we have a reputation, we have a deal funnel, we've got an entire worldwide community, and now we're poised for the next couple of years to make massive amounts of money for our members. And look, folks, I'm sure a lot of you have felt like Drake here on the top. You've tried to invest in crypto on your own. How many people here have lost money in crypto? Raise your hands. Come on, be honest with me. John, anybody, Doreen? All right, keep your hands down if you're lying to me. Jackie popped the hand. Okay. Look, folks, I think we've all lost money in crypto. It's a jungle out there. You join this space, you don't know what to buy. You go on Twitter, X, and you follow some influencer with a fake name and a fake picture, and he gives you some fake token to buy, and it goes down 50%. And you know, a lot of people say, to hell with this market. I'm quitting this. And that's a huge mistake, because this is the future of finance. This redefines everything we've ever been taught about money and ownership of our own assets. And there's another way. You can come alongside myself and London Real, and you can invest in the big wins and change your life forever. And it's called the Investment Club. If you've ever struggled with money in your life, this is the solution to that. Has anyone here ever been stressed about money? Raise your hand, right? I think we all have, right? For a lot of us, it defines our life. And yet, there's no way you can actually live your life when you're constantly in a state of stress. And so for all of the London Real members, all the people around the world that have enjoyed our content and become part of our family and part of our army, we have created this product for you to finally solve all of your problems around money. My goal, my quest, all of our quest here is to give you enough money, generational wealth, to where you can take a step back and figure out what you really want to do with your life. No more paycheck to paycheck. No more doing work you don't enjoy to impress people that you don't even like, right? Anybody know what I'm talking about, right? We do work we don't enjoy to buy things we don't need to impress people we don't like, right? That's the way a lot of people live. Well, no more. This is going to give you freedom on a level you've never experienced before. Now, if this sounds interesting to you, the best thing to do is to book a call with Martini right now. She can walk you through what we're doing. I'll mention this again at the end, but I just want to let you know that if you're part of our London Real family, we've got you covered. We've finally figured this out, a problem that plagued me for most of my life and plagued a lot of people out there. And we really have found that solution. So book a call with her and we can help you. We also have a 4-week Crypto and DeFi Academy. And the next one starts on Monday. It's an incredible program that's now discounted by 60% that I've been teaching for over 4 years and graduated thousands of students. It's 4 weeks, 4 modules. It's an invitation-only program, and it gets all sorts of things, including 8 hours of live calls with me personally. You get access to our online e-learning platform with videos and workbooks. You get my triple tiered accountability system. You get dedicated coaches and team leaders and community managers, and you get a private group for posting all of your assignments. In module 1, we go to the history of crypto. You're going to read the Bitcoin white paper, learn about the creation of Ethereum, stablecoins, and more. In module 2, we're going to buy some Bitcoin, get some Ethereum, set up your centralized exchanges, your hot wallet, your cold wallet, and you're going to do your first decentralized finance trade. It's amazing. Module 3, we're going to do 3 more DeFi trades, get really into the trenches. And module 4, we're going to show you how to really manage that portfolio and multiply your money over time. Folks, this is a no-brainer. This is an incredible course. And I've seen all the courses around the world. This is better than all of them by a factor of 10. And we've discounted it now by 60% to $999. It's a no-brainer. Trust me. Pull out the plastic, go to londonreal.tv/buy and get your space now. It is, like I said, a no-brainer. It's a slam dunk. You definitely want to join because it's an incredible course and you're going to learn a ton. And of course, just want to end here with this 8-step trading checklist. If you follow each one of these steps before you ever make a trade, I guarantee we will save you tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you can have that free today, and we'll give you a copy inside the course as well. Folks, this is the big news. A sudden $200 billion crypto sell-off sparks this fresh Bitcoin price, cash fears. The market pulled off a little bit. And look, most people just can't handle a little bit of volatility. For us, that's honestly no big deal. We've seen much, much worse. And this is the real news because we had the FOMC meeting recently meet, and they talked and they made a 25 basis point cut in rates. All right. And so we kind of expected that Bitcoin was going to go into this consolidation period right afterwards. And that's exactly what happened. But the truth is there are now 2 more rate cuts priced in to the futures markets right now. And Powell actually spoke today and used language of saying we're still watching the economy. And I want to say one more thing that's really important. By May of next year, Powell's gone. He's hitting the bricks. And most likely Trump is going to appoint either a new chair or he's going to move the guy he just moved into the Federal Reserve up to be chair. That guy is going to slash interest rates like nobody's business and probably take us into a super cycle we've never seen before. That's going to pump all the crypto tokens more than we ever imagined. So do not be disheartened by these pullbacks. In fact, these are necessary to go higher. It's a bit like climbing Mount Everest. You have to go up the mountain and then go back down the mountain and acclimatize, and up the mountain and back down the mountain and acclimatize in order to get to the top. Does that make sense to everybody here? It literally cannot go straight up, even though that we all want it to, but it just can't. So this is all part of the process, and it clears out all the suckers in the meantime, which I kind of like. All the people that don't really deserve to be in crypto, it throws them out and leaves the rest of the profits for the real players like us. Folks, we also know that Bitcoin and crypto are braced for a $9.5 trillion Fed price earthquake. And we know that roughly $7.2 to $7.5 trillion right now is in money market funds. And as those yields fall, people are going to start putting that cash into assets like crypto. All right. We also know there's another $2 trillion in fixed income ETFs, and they're going to do the same thing. We are expecting massive amounts of cash pouring into our market, and it's going to move all of our crypto up. Of course, the Trump family is meanwhile pumping billions into this market. And they announced recently this publicly traded shell company called Alt 5 Sigma that's literally buying $1.5 billion of their own World Liberty Financial tokens, which is the Trump DeFi project. And of course, Bitcoin is predicted to hit $150,000 in the next few weeks as more and more people buy into this asset. Now people are saying Ethereum will go to 10,000, which is a 2x. In fact, some people are saying it can go to 20, 30, 40, 50,000 because they're calling Ethereum digital oil, where Bitcoin is digital gold. And of course, Standard Chartered Bank is now calling for $500,000 Bitcoin, something that could easily happen by the end of the year. Folks, we know a new wave or a $15 trillion earthquake is headed straight for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. You want to jump on this now. Now is the time. And of course, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London on a pro-crypto, pro-freedom of speech platform. And of course, I wanted all the voting to be on the blockchain, the budget of London to be on the blockchain. And I was actually trying to create a London coin and put 100 pounds of crypto in the wallet of every man, woman, and child. Of course, they weren't ready for me. And so instead, I'm going to make all of you filthy rich. Does that sound good? Jackie, you in on that? John, you with me? Steve's like, yeah, let's go. Okay. Folks, this is my studio in Dubai. I spend about 6 months of the year there because it's still the center of crypto. Here I am with Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni, and runs the Dubai Blockchain Center. This is Uni Wong. She's a massive crypto influencer, and a tweet from her can move markets. This is Carl Moon. Carl was a grocery store clerk in Sweden a few years ago, and now he's a crypto billionaire. And so please, if you have an excuse on why you haven't made a boatload of money in crypto, save it, because I don't want to hear it. Because I know guys like Carl, he wasn't even the manager of the grocery store. He was a clerk who decided to go all in and is now a crypto billionaire. This is Chris Crypto. He was driving a taxi in Germany a few years ago, and now he's a crypto billionaire. So at the same point, if you're telling me you can't do it, you have more money and more education and probably better jobs than either two of these young men, and yet they became crypto billionaires and you didn't. And so the only thing stopping you is your attitude and your mindset and your fears. This is the market that can make millions and millions of dollars for people very, very quickly. But you have to believe, you have to get around the right people, get the right deals, and you have to pull the trigger at the end of the day. Folks, right now we're investing over $5 million into 15 different blockchain and AI deals this quarter. I say that because we know everything that's going on in this space. We know what blockchains are hot and what are not. We know who's about to drop their tokens and who aren't. And we can really talk to you about what's happening. And it's all because of this. This is London Real Ventures. This is the world's first media-powered investment firm. It's this entity that allows me to bring you the deals that'll change your life forever. This has never been done, where someone's taken a media company like London Real with a 14-year history, 1 billion views, 5 million subscribers, and combined it with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. You put these things together, and absolute magic happens. And this is what magic looks like, folks. This is our portfolio. Over 100 investments. This is the creme de la creme, the best of Web3. Each one of these companies with the potential to become the next $5 or $10 billion protocol. Some have already made those numbers. And that's what's making all of my members millions and tens of millions, and by the end of the year, hundreds of millions of dollars. And now we've crossed a major milestone. We've invested over $22 million into over 100 different blockchain and AI deals. We're now bigger than most venture capital funds in this space, right? And we're just getting warmed up. We're going to get much, much bigger, and you can join us for this, really, this huge peak that we're about to hit. Folks, one of the reasons we win is we invest with the big money. I'm talking $10, $20 billion funds. Names you've heard of like Coinbase Ventures, Galaxy Digital, Andreessen Horowitz, ARK Invest, even Warner Brothers Music. And of course, we've just been recently recognized and voted the best venture capital KOL of the year. KOL stands for Key Opinion Leader. And it was great to accept this award on behalf of all the members of our club. Of course, recently I was given a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Global Family Office Summit for all of the achievements we've had in investing. And of course, now everyone in crypto knows us. The entire community looks to us when it comes to investments, when it comes to predictions, and when it comes to just giving a little bit of a beatdown, Martini. And so I had to lace up these gloves recently when this young crypto punk was talking trash. Sometimes you got to teach these kids some manners, right, Walter? And of course, a lot of you know, in 8 days' time, I'll be in Singapore for my second fight. Martini, they're giving me a younger kid. He's younger, he's taller. I'm like, what are you doing? All I got to say is line him up and we're going to knock him down. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. How many people like to live their lives this way? Anybody here? Come on, folks, let's go, right? We're not going to complain. We're not going to stick our head in the sands. We're not going to worry about the future. We're going to make the future. We're going to make it on our terms, right? The bank is censoring your transactions. Great. We're going to hold digital assets. The government's printing so much money that your money is worthless. Great. We're going to hold some digital assets, right? They're trying to take away your freedoms. We're going to hold some digital assets. And we're going to go and create a brand new future. We're going to make a boatload of money, some lifelong friends along the way. I mean, I don't know what else you want, but this is what our plan is for the next 10, 20 years. And it all comes down to our mission statement, which is written on the wall here at London Real World headquarters. We're here to create a mass scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. That's one of the reasons we attract some amazing people, is because we have a great value system. But of course, as you know, for me, it's not just business, it's personal, because I got these two fellas to look out for. These are my two sons, Caden, who's 9 on the right, Damon, 8 in the middle. They both have Bitcoin. Damon just bought a little Ethereum, and he's eyeing up Solana. I'll keep you posted on what he does. Everybody kind of watches his moves. And the truth is, folks, is that I got these guys to look out for. And I don't know about you. I'm sure some of you have children or family members or parents that you're going to have to look out for one day. Well, what are you going to tell them 10 years from now when they say, where's our Bitcoin? Where's our digital assets? Where's our freedom? I hope you don't give them some sorry excuse that back in 25, you didn't have enough money, or you were too scared, or you were too busy, because I'm not going to give my people excuses. I'm going to make sure that I provide for these people and I protect these people. But to do that, I'm not under any illusions. I have to take massive risk today if I want to provide for my people in the future. And that's something I think everybody should think about. Folks, this is Michael Saylor. He's been on London Real twice, and he's been buying Bitcoin since 2020, a lot of it. He currently owns $75 billion of Bitcoin, and he's buying another 40 billion as we speak. He believes each coin's going to $13 million, and he thinks AI and ETFs are going to power a decade-long gold rush for Bitcoin. Now, my Crypto Academy starts Monday. All of you should join. Some of you are members already and graduates, so thank you. But my members always ask me, Brian, what websites do we go to get information on crypto? And I always tell them, save the websites. Go listen to the guys like Michael Saylor. Go listen to Yatsu. Go listen to Dan Tapiero. These are the people that can teach you. And so listen to what Michael told me.
We went from investing 250 million in Bitcoin to 425 million in Bitcoin to eventually $1 billion in Bitcoin to $2 billion in Bitcoin to just slightly less than $4 billion.
You said there are decades when nothing happens and there are weeks when Bitcoin happens.
So every decade there's some profound paradigm shift. It's such an out of the blue idea that no one can conceive of why you would even want it. What you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. What if I can encrypt energy? What if I can encrypt money such that nobody on earth, no government can debase it, no corporation can steal it? I don't trust anybody. I'm going to create a shared immutable ledger, incorruptible, immortal, transcendental ledger. If I can transfer $1 million of value from me to you without an intermediary, that means I have transcended the political realm.
You said, Brian, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations.
The idea of Bitcoin was, how do I create a protocol that's fair and equitable that I give as a gift to the world that no one can control? If you're going to do it and you understand thermodynamics, and if you have any sense of genetics or biology or physics, you realize you need to be very humble in your aspirations. How do we give the gift of property rights, freedom, and sovereignty and empowerment to everybody on the planet? The best idea 30 years ago was YouTube or Google Maps, Twitter or Facebook or email. I think the best idea for the next 30 years is digital energy. Everybody can own their stuff and nobody can take it away from them.
All right, we're liking Michael, right? Liking those vibes. He really is an amazing guy. He's done a ton for the ecosystem. That being said, I think owning Bitcoin is not the smartest thing to own because I think you'll make a lot more money doing other things. Takeaways from Michael is that crypto is encrypted energy. It's like walking around with a pocket full of energy. It's better than money. No government can debase it. No corporation can steal it because crypto actually transcends money. It's a powerful concept, folks. Look, if you didn't realize that 2025 is the year of crypto, and you've missed most of it. You're about to miss the whole thing unless you take some massive action now. I'm just telling it to you straight. I'm really trying to just, shock you into doing something because you're going to miss it. And it's all going to happen, I think, in the next 60 days. And you can create wealth in that period if you take action. Don't come back to this in 6 months and think it's still going to be here because it's not. So where and how do we invest? Well, first you have to find the hottest trend. And I'll share with you our investment thesis shortly. But there's something you need, which you will never, ever, ever find on your own in a million years. And that is deal flow. I'm not talking about some deal you pick up in some random WhatsApp group that, some crypto bro invites you to. I'm not talking about a deal you get when you walk on the floor of a conference and some random person comes up to you, or the deal you get when you go on LinkedIn and somebody sends you one of those private messages. That's a surefire way to lose your money. Matter of fact, just take out a lighter and burn your money right there. It'll be faster. But there's a better way. but you've got to find the best deals. And the deals that we do, the ones that make 42x and 22x and 14x your money, that's a lot of money, folks. You have to go find. And that's what I spend all of my time doing. I travel the world building relationships to find the people that are going to bring you the deals that are going to make you millions and millions of dollars. Now, this is my first trip to Dubai. On the left, you can see me with the big influencers, Carl and Chris. Here, I'm meeting members of government, influencers, venture capitalists. From there, I'm off to Paris, France, where I sat down at a private dinner with some of the biggest VCs on the planet, some of the hottest projects. I'm doing media, shooting documentary films, more VCs, more influencers. Then I'm back to London, had to do a big episode with Yatsu of Animoca Brands at the Token 2049 conference, more influencers, more VCs. And then it's off to Austin, Texas, hanging out with celebrities like William Shatner of Star Trek, my good friend Alex Jones, more influencers, more VCs. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see me with 14 members of our investment club. Can everyone see those people? John, you see them all down there hooting and hollering, right? Why are they having so much fun, John? Because they're making so much cash, right? You know, right? It's easy to have fun, right? Everybody's trying to pay for the bill. They got so much money. I'm like, I got it, right? And look, it's always fun hanging out with those people. We're making lifelong friends, changing the world forever. That's our club. From there, I was off to Singapore. I'll be there in 3 or 4 days, actually. I arrive on, I leave on Saturday. And here I am, again, doing more media, hanging out with the big players and changing the color of my suit every hour. It looks like I go from white to orange to red to pinstripe. I don't know, John, some people say my mama didn't give me enough attention as a little boy. And maybe that's true. But I do know that my suits get a lot of attention and they bring a lot of deal flow as well. In fact, one of the suits, I think it was the orange one, that suit alone brought us a deal that made us $4 million. And so they seem to pay off. Just don't tell my tailor. Folks, from there, I went to Toronto and of course, more influencers, more VCs. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see me with about 35 members of our investment club. They're all getting a little crazy there, as you can see. And then, of course, I always make my way back to Dubai, where I hang out with big influencers like CZ of Binance, premiere our films, interview people on stage, etc. This is the way that we've made all of our money, and we're going to make a lot more. And this is the way we source the deals that'll change your life. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best, period. And so that's why what you see here is a screenshot of the number of deals we're going to look at every single week, and we'll boil this down into 2 or 3 CEOs that'll come on the call that will actually pitch to us. But you've got to also understand the financial tools, and most of you don't. But first, you have to understand the thesis. And we believe that early stage Web3, metaverse, and artificial intelligence investments represents the hottest opportunity on the planet, period. Now, why? Well, you buy at super low valuations. And because of that, you see the biggest gains possible. You invest in what I'm calling the biggest dislocation of wealth in human history. Yes, it's high risk, but the reward is even higher. And I'm going to show you an example of that. And it's done with pre-sale tokens, folks. This is how we're doing it. Every single one of those deals on that portfolio, we bought tokens for pennies on the dollar before they went public and then multiplied massively. How many people here, again, have heard of Solana? Again, let me just get a show of hands. Most people know this, right? But very few people know you could have bought this for pennies on the dollar. Let me walk you through it. Can everyone see the red circle here on the screen? April 5th, 2018. Can everyone see the blue circle? 4 pennies each. This is publicly available information on the blockchain, but it's very difficult to find, right? Because they don't want you to find it. Because, John, why would you pay $250 for a Solana token if you know you could have bought it for 4 pennies each back in the day? Well, what happened after this pre-sale token? Well, you know what happened. If you would put $1,000 on that pre-sale token deal, you'd be worth between $5 and $6 million on one deal, right? Now, I don't know about all of you, but for me, money equals freedom. That's the way I look at it. Now, who here wants more freedom in their life? Anybody? Raise your hands, right? I think we all do. And that's really what I want to do for all of you. I want to give you the money that allows you to have the freedom to go ahead and find out what your life is all about. And it reminds me of a conversation I had with one of my mentors named Dan Pena. And he came to my studio, I think it was about 10 years ago. And he said to me, a lot of you might remember this. He said, Brian, I have more money than you, which means I have more choices than you. And I thought to myself, I wish this guy, I could throw him out right now. But he had a point. He had a point. And so what I want to do is give you more choices, right? So you don't have to work jobs you hate, to buy things you don't need, to impress people you don't like. I want you to forge your own path in life. And that's a lot easier to do when you got $5 or $10 million in crypto, right? Does anyone agree with me? Probably so, right? Now, quick question. Did anybody buy these at 4 pennies each? John, did you get some? Rick, Andrea, David, Jackie? Nobody did. Now, why didn't you buy these at 4 pennies each? Let's just think about that. Why? Why didn't you? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you didn't know someone like me. You didn't have a Brian Rose that was sending text messages every day that said, hey, John, I got this deal called Solana. How would you like to put some money in there? That's the question. And that would have been a big deal. Now, who here would have liked to get a text message from me on the morning here with the opportunity to buy Solana at 4 pennies? Anybody? John's in, Kate's in, Doreen's in, Jackie's like, nah, keep the text, Brian. You can always block me if you don't like the deal, Jackie. But I mean, it would have been really helpful, right? Because at least you have the option. But for me, that's not hypothetical, because that's what I do every day. This is my Telegram group in my investment club. I don't know if you can see it, but every day I send him a text message with our latest deal pinned at the top. You click the link, and within 30 seconds, you can invest in that deal. My job is to get you the next Solana every single day. And so far, we're doing a pretty damn good job of it. And so that's what I do. I deal in the most highest quality information there is. And it reminds me of one of my favorite movies called Wall Street, where the main character, Gordon Gekko, says the most valuable commodity I know of is information. He knew that the right information at the right time is how you make millions, tens of millions, and hundreds of millions of dollars. How many people agree with Gordon? Most valuable commodity is actually information, right? Steve's with me. A few of you are. I'm going to get you that information at the right point to where you can make another 42x on the Story Protocol and walk away with $2 million. That's one deal, by the way. Jose's got, how many deals does Jose have, Martini? Probably 50 deals, right? So if he does that on all 50 deals, he's worth $100 million more investing in crypto with us over the last 3 years. Not bad. Not bad. Why can't you do that? I don't know. Ask your brain that later. Ask yourself, why can't I do that? You can. Will you allow yourself to do that? That's the question. Folks, a lot of people ask me, how do I create generational wealth? You have to pull the damn trigger. And that's the problem with most of the people right here on this call. You're too scared to pull the trigger. It's foreign to you. Your brain gets freaked out and says, yeah, later, next year, I'm too busy, I'm too, yeah, all the excuses. And again, you just continue the same old life. And what do they say, John, is a definition of insanity? Repeating the same behavior, expecting a different result. But that's what you're doing with your finances. What are you hoping to win the lottery someday? Wake up. Matter of fact, you're winning the opposite of the lottery. Your money is getting devalued every single day. Your government is making you poorer every single day. How many people here think that your government or your corporation is going to take care of you when you get old? Anybody here? John actually laughed when I said that, right? Okay. Right? And how many people think that putting your money in a bank account is a really good thing to do? Right? But that's what they taught us to do, right? It's the opposite, because the Matrix programmed you to be poor and to continue being poor. And that's what you're going to do unless you break out of that. And it reminds me of one of the videos my mentors used to play to me, because most of us out there are just sheep in the Matrix. And we watch these amazing opportunities pass us by, and yet we're too scared to take action on something that's really, really obvious. And it reminds me of the two lions. And my mentor used to play this video for me, because he said, all of you are capable of getting something right now. You're like this lion. This lion's hungry. It's got a bunch of cubs to feed, and it's seeing all these perfect, beautiful meals go by. And yet it's giving itself excuses. No, not that one. No, I'm too busy. No, I can't afford it. No, I'm stressed out right now. No, I'll keep saving my money. Maybe that one. No. And then someone else comes in and says, bam, I'll take a bite of that. Story Protocol 42X. Yum, 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 yum. Right? There we go. What's the difference between those two lions, John? They're the same lion. They're both hungry. They both have people to feed. Just one of them said, to heck with it. I'm going to take a piece of that. The other one's busy overthinking it. And most of you are going to overthink this right to your grave. And you're going to die poor watching the world go by. Or you can go into it and say, I'll take a bite. That's what this is about. Take a bite. Now, Walter's laughing here because I bet Pena played you that video, didn't he, Walter? And so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And folks, when you take that risk, when you take that bite, you get this. And every time that we made an investment, we stopped being that lion on the ground and we were the lion that went and took a big bite. And when you take a big bite, this is what you get. You get the best of Web3. And like I said, each one of these deals with the potential to become the next $5 billion, $10 billion protocol, making every single member of my investment club disgustingly, filthy rich. And that's my goal for the next 5 years. I want them with so much money, they don't even know what to do with it. And it's all because of London Real Ventures, folks. Without this entity, I could not give you the deals that would make you this much money. It wouldn't even work, wouldn't work. But because of this, we are blessed with this deal flow that you couldn't get unless you had $1 billion fund. And it all comes down to what I call our quadruple threat. This is what brings the CEOs to the table. Number one is production. I got a CEO flying in 2 weeks from the Silicon Valley. He's going to come here. We're going to sit down in my studio, 6-camera, high definition production. We're going to film his episode. Then we're going to distribute a beautiful piece of video to 5 million followers. 3, I'm going to connect him with the Michael Saylors and Yatsus and Dan Tapieros of the world. And number 4, we're going to write him a big fat $200,000 check. I'm telling you, John, I'm telling you, Jackie, there's not a CEO that can say no to this proposition. Not a single one. And that's how I get you the hottest deals. If I didn't have this, I couldn't get you the deals. No one's going to give me their deals because I put on a suit and tie and because of my good looks. Ain't going to happen. But they want our media and they want it badly. Come to one of our investment club calls on a Monday or a Thursday. You'll see. These CEOs want it so bad. I have to tell most of them no. I tell 95% of the people pitch to us, I tell them no. And man, they don't want to hear that. They really want our media, and that's why we get the deals. Folks, there's one last piece here. How do you learn how to invest? Well, you've got to surround yourself with the best. And I would argue that most of you are not hanging out with people that are going to make you wealthy. You're hanging out with people that you're comfortable with. You're hanging out with maybe a couple toxic family members because you feel guilty. You're hanging out with a high school buddy that still acts like he's in high school, right, John? You know what I'm talking about. And so I believe you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. How many people agree with that statement? We all know it's true, right? It's an old Jim Rohn quote. And as one of my mentors used to say to me, who you hanging out with? Losers. That's what he used to say to me. How do you expect to get high performance results, Brian, when you're not hanging out with high performance people? And he's right. How are you going to become a billionaire if you're not hanging out with billionaires? You're not. And I'm sure all your friends mean well and your family members mean well, but the problem is they don't share your dreams. And I took a look at my life and I realized the first 10 years of my life was me getting around the right group of people, usually by accident. Now here's Brian on the left, 16 years old, making $6 an hour in San Diego. And I would have stayed there to this day, making $6 an hour if I hadn't have gotten out of my peer group. I studied hard in school. I got into MIT and boom, I flew across America, 6 hours to Boston, spent 4 years with the smartest people in the world. And there I am graduating from MIT. Okay, that's good. I improved my peer group, but now I'm still broke. So what did I do? I took those grades and I went and got a job on Wall Street. There's Brian, 1993, on a Wall Street trading floor, surrounded by 300 alpha males and females, each making between $9 and $12 million a year. It was a viper pit. I'm telling you, these people did not take prisoners. They were mean, they were nasty, but they also taught me how to make a boatload of money. When you sit next to a guy on your right that makes $10 million a year and a guy on your left that makes $12 million a year, John, what do you think? Do you think your income goes up? Yep, it does. It's about the people you surround yourself with. If you hang out with your auntie on the right that thinks that your crypto dreams are stupid and your buddy on the left that still gets drunk every Friday and Saturday night, how do you think you're going to make $10 million in crypto in the next 12 months? You're not. You've got to change your game and surround yourself with winners. And that always makes me ask a question. John, let's say after this call, you get all pumped up and you go see your friends later and you say, guess what? I'm going to make $10 million in crypto with Brian Rose from London Real. What are your friends going to say, John? What are your family members going to say? They're going to think you're a little crazy, maybe? They're going to be like, oh man, here we go. Not again, John, talking about crypto. Here he is. Bless him. He's just never going to make it, is he? These people don't believe in you. And so therefore, they're going to be the ones that hold you back. What you need is people in your life that are going to support your dreams. And that's why I created my investment club. So you can hang out with people like Marianne Bartels. Marianne is a 35-year Wall Street veteran. She's a founding member of my investment club. She's made her clients tens of billions of dollars. John, what do you think Marianne's going to say to you when you tell her you want to make $10 million in crypto? Is she going to laugh? Is she going to roll her eyes? She's going to look at you and say, John, baby, 10 million bucks. That's chump change. Let's make 100 million in crypto. Let's make $1 billion over the next 10 years. Let's go. Now, who wants to hang out with a Marianne Bartels here? Come on, Jackie. Come on, right? That's how you get wealthy, folks. Surround yourself with winners. This is Tigran. He's one of America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys. This is your new peer group. Tigran's invested in, I think, almost every single deal. He was out in Beverly Hills recently, took Martini out to dinner with a bunch of our members, bought them all flowers. When you're out with this guy, John, he's not talking about the score on the ball game. He's not talking about the 10 hours he watched Netflix on a Sunday. He's talking about the next $1 billion idea. He's going to make you rich. This is Andrew Haynes, one of our technical experts. Here he is, graduating from one of the top trading schools in Switzerland. This guy will get on a call with you and explain any protocol to you, any blockchain, anything you need. This is your new peer group. This is Dr. Encore. 4 years ago, he was in medicine. He took our Crypto and DeFi Academy course, the four-week course that starts next week. Then he graduated, took our Kings of DeFi, graduated, and was the founding member of the investment club. We hired him a year ago full-time to source deals for us. Folks, this is your new peer group. I'm talking about next level mentorship. And this is our family. You see a bunch of selfies here behind the scenes. And what you can see is just a bunch of people that love being together, love building, and love making a boatload of money. Folks, I think your net worth is your network. How many people agree with that statement? Yeah, it's true, folks. It's not what you know, it's who you know. But are any of you spending a dime this year to get in a room with billionaires? Probably not. You spend money on clothes and vacations and homes. Yeah, what did that get you? Probably not much. So why don't you pay some money to get in a room with winners? Watch how it changes your life forever. We believe you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. We teach people how to fish. And that's why we created the investment club. Because back in 21, we did our first pre-sale token deal, one of the hottest gaming companies in blockchain called Cross the Ages. And I'll be honest, it freaked me out, scared the heck out of me. Here I was on a Zoom call with some stranger, and then he gave me a wallet. He said, send $100,000 in stable coins. You got 20 minutes. I was like, what are you, crazy, bro? I said, I got my lawyers. I need 2 weeks for due diligence. He said, you got 19 minutes left or you're going to miss this deal. And he was right. He was right. Now, I did the deal. We made a boatload of money. But the problem is that it really scared me. And I thought, man, what a bunch of cowboys out here. Like, this is crazy. And I thought to myself 2 things at the same time, John. I thought, number one, most people would lose every single dollar they ever owned if they try to go into this on their own. I'm not talking about their crypto allocation. I'm talking they would probably lose their house, they would lose their family and lose their kids, because this thing has a way of sucking every penny out of you if you do it wrong. But on the flip side, if we could teach our London Real family, the people that really trust us around the world, how to do this, we can make them more money than they've ever dreamed of. We could change more lives than all of our videos and movies combined. And we thought, you know what? We're going to go into this. And so we created the investment club and we've never looked back. And folks, we're stronger than ever. Here are the details. It's application only. We open up 10 spaces a quarter and they're always gone. We are massively oversubscribed. I think Martini's got 1 left and I think it's about to be taken. So if you want this, move fast. There's 6 modules, 3 months of coursework. It's a 12-month program, but guess what? No one's ever left. It's become a lifetime program. Think about that. Think about being surrounded by these high-performance people for life. We do weekly live Zoom calls with top CEOs. Now we're doing 2, 3, 4 a week. You get a private Telegram group. You get access to all the deal flow. And if you don't know crypto, no problem. If you never bought a Bitcoin, that's okay. We're going to give you a full year of our Kings of DeFi for free. We've had people with no crypto experience do their first deal in 2 or 3 weeks. Next live call, Thursday, 7 p.m. I teach this remotely to people in about 40 countries. And here's the syllabus. Module 1, what is a crypto presale token? I sent you that in the beginning of this call. Module 2, what is a SAFT? Who here knows what a SAFT agreement is? Andrea, Doreen, nobody knows. You know, I would say a few years ago, you'd have an excuse, but right now you have no excuse, because if you choose not to learn about money, then you're to blame. And right now, all the information is out there. And so you can't really point the finger at anybody else. You all have the opportunity to create more money than you ever dreamed of, and yet you're not doing it. And one of the reasons is because you're not engaging in your own financial education. And that's proven by the fact you don't know what a SAFT is. A SAFT is a simple agreement for future tokens. These are the legal documents we sign to make ridiculous amounts of money behind the scenes. You learn this, and you're going to start earning that kind of money. Module 3 is how do we identify early winners? I'm going to show you how to do due diligence on any company in a matter of minutes. Module 4, how to generate new deal flow. I'll show you what conference to go to, what to do, what to wear, what ticket to buy, and how you can use QR codes scanned on your phone to send the deals back to the club in real time. Module 5, how do we nurture these deals into multi-billion-dollar protocols like we did with Story? And Module 6, what do you do with all the cash? You're going to have so much money, you're not going to know what the heck to do with it. Seriously. And I recommend you save some, you spend some, and you put the rest back into these deals. You know, create that financial security for your grandkids. This is our Telegram group. This is our Discord group. And here are the details, folks. We are oversubscribed. Martini's busy almost 24/7 fielding calls from people all over the world. We have a ton of interest coming out of the United States right now and out of the Middle East. We tried to keep this a secret for a while, but now everyone sees our videos. They see all the money we're making and they all want in. As I mentioned, we have 10 spaces a quarter. They're always gone. The investment in the mentorship, in the education, in this community, in the next 10, 20 years of your life is $50,000. And that gets you the hottest deals in the world. Now, look, I understand that's a significant amount of money. I used to make $6 an hour. I get it. But that can get you unlimited financial results. What if that made you $50 million? That's probably worth it. And of course, your chance to take part in the greatest wealth creation event in human history that I think is going to be over in the next 60 days. So you got to move. And the special investment opportunities, those 2 deals I showed you in the beginning, they're ending now. You're going to miss them unless you jump in. By the way, this is the deal last quarter that you missed. This is a SAFT agreement here on the right. Don't let it intimidate you. That deal was up 466% in one day. Now, why am I showing you another win? Well, the reason I do this is because if you would just stop with the excuses and the procrastination and put 10K on this one deal, you could have paid for the club for the rest of your life. Just imagine hanging out with the winners, seeing the deal flow, talking to the CEOs. That would make you wealthy just by doing that alone. And so I'm here to show you that this is so easy, and yet for some of you, so hard. And unfortunately, a lot of you, even though you know this is the right thing to do and you know it will make you wealthy, you're still going to miss this. And maybe you think you don't deserve this, but I believe you do. And all you have to do is take action and move forward. And like I said, everything you ever dreamed of is on the other side of your fears. And you've seen our success. Shrapnel up 20x in 20 days, a $5 million profit. Mochaverse up 20x. Skillful, $4 million profit. Our $1 billion fund up 4x. Cats up 14x. And of course, Story Protocol, a $21 million profit. And it's going higher. It's just going to keep going higher. Folks, here's my pledge to my investment club. I'm going to create $10 billion for them over the next 10 years. And at this point, it's going to happen in 5 years. We're not playing games here. My goal is to make everybody in my club, as I said, filthy rich. Folks, we got many members of my club. They all have real names and real stories. Each one of these people has actually recorded a video talking about how the investment club was one of the best decisions they made their entire life. If you go to LondonReal.tv/club, you can watch every one of those videos. This is Carol. She says every member is both a learner and an investor. This is Joe. He says the window of opportunity is closing quite quickly, and you know he's right. You're about to miss this. This is Jerry. He's just honored to be part of the club. He loves it. This is Dr. Yvette. She's a single mom with 4-year-old twins. I mean, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? She's done 13 deals, and you're telling me you're busy? Just doesn't make sense. This is Jens. He asks, how can you afford not to join us? You're going to look back in 6 months, and you're going to kick yourself for not doing this. Kick yourself. This is Petya. She couldn't afford the club. You know what she did? She joined anyways. She forced herself to go find the money. She really put herself in a pickle to go find the money. She found the 50K, and now she's invested in 78 other deals, including Story Protocol. That alone has paid for every single one of her investments. True story. Now, how did she find all that money? That's a $5,000 minimum on 80 deals. It's a lot of money. Well, she manifested it. She put herself in a situation and she created success. Are you willing to do that? Well, if you are, you deserve this. And that's why Petya will probably be the wealthiest member of our club. This is Chris. He said the deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. Now, a lot of you know Chris invests alongside his 14-year-old son. It's really cool. His son puts $1,000 on the table and he says, Dad, you do the other 4,000. We go in together. They've done a bunch of deals with us, and we have fathers and sons and mothers and daughters and boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives. We encourage it. We think it's a family affair. And this is what Chris said about the club.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals, and that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week, and for me, that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
All right, we like Chris. We're feeling those vibes. Yeah. He's amazing. All the members are like that. When we get together, it's such a great time. We all had dinner at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Toronto recently. And man, it was just the coolest group of people. We're all on the same wavelength. They're all London Realers and we're all investing together. It's a powerful group. It'll be the best community you ever been a part of, in my opinion. And we got Walter here on the call, who's an OG member of our club. One of the founding members, right, Walter? And he knows what I'm talking about. Folks, it only takes one. One of these deals can change your life forever. You see that with Story Protocol. Jose is walking away with $2 million on one deal. Now he's got 50 more, so that can make him a lot more money. But folks, one of these deals can change your life. And so what are you doing not having at least one? Definitely get involved. Final thoughts. Don't let this year pass you by. You're about to miss this whole thing. You got a few months left. You got to pull the trigger and make a move. You got to move fast. You can learn early stage investing now. What I teach you, you can use the rest of your life. Remember, liquid tokens and equity on exchanges have limited gains. If you go buy a token right now on an exchange, somebody like me has already taken a 50x. It's too late. And of course, this is your chance to learn from active elite investors for only $50,000. I know at Dan Tapiero, if you said to Dan, I want access to your deals, I want you to teach me about crypto for the next 10 years for a lousy 50K, he would throw you out of his office. He wouldn't do it for 500,000. I know these people. So this is actually incredible value. And yes, it's a significant investment, but it's giving you unlimited financial returns. And now, thanks to Martini, we have a payment plan. So for $10,000 a month for 6 months, you're in. What does that mean? Well, if you have limited cash right now, 10K gets you into the club. Then you can put another 5K into those 2 deals I just showed you, and you're going to have tokens next month, and away you go. The market is going up and up and up and up. The time to do this is now. You could not do this 3 months ago, and I'm not sure you can do this in 3 months, but you can do this now. Don't miss the window of opportunity. And of course, it gives you the best deal flow in the world. Warren Buffett said it. The best investment you can make is in yourself. He's talking about your peer group, getting in the right room. And yet I wonder, do any of you spend more than $10 getting in the right room? This is where you should spend your money, because it's the people you surround yourself with that makes you rich. Not the YouTube videos, not your fancy degrees. It's the people you hang out with. I hang around with some very wealthy people in Dubai. People, I mean, they make so much money. One of my buddies has $100 million in cars. In cars, okay? And when you're around these people, it's not what they do, John. It's what they don't do. It's not even what they say, Jackie. It's what they don't say. It's the way they treat themselves. It's the way they treat others. It's the behaviors they have. And just being around them actually makes you richer. It's a very interesting thing. And that's what I want. I want to get you around wealthy, successful people so you can start to be that. And the truth is that ain't going to happen with the current people you're hanging out with. No chance. Folks, the only way to join us is book a call with Martini. She's spoken with thousands of people. Book a call with her right now. click on the link and do it and have a conversation and find out if this is the right fit for you. Like I said, she's spoken to a lot of people. Some people, this is a good thing. Some people, it isn't. But have that conversation. But of course, respect her time. She's extremely busy talking to people all over the world that want to join this club right now. So if you do book a call, make sure you're serious about joining now, not next week, not next month. But if you do that, she can really help you. And of course, next Monday, my Crypto and DeFi Academy starts. It's incredible. 4 weeks, 4 modules, invitation only, 8 hours of live calls with me. You get access to our online e-learning platform, my triple tiered accountability system, dedicated coaches, team leaders. It's really an amazing course. And of course, you're pre-approved to buy right now at londonreal.tv/buy. Don't overthink this. Honestly, pull out the plastic and join. It's an incredible, incredible class. I've taught this for almost 5 years, thousands of graduates. It'll take you to the next level. Folks, what is your why? What does all of this mean at the end of the day? I really think it's about the people around you. It's about how we raise our families and how we show up in this world. And so whenever I have a tough day or I have a struggling moment over here, I just think, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for these 2 boys, and it's easy, okay? But I also know this, that if I don't take risk every single day, I will not be able to provide for them in the future. And so I'd say for all of you right now, think about this. Think about the people in your life that depend on you. Think about the people in the future that will be depending on you. Are you going to be able to provide for them? Are you going to be able to protect them? Are your actions today taking you towards your goals or away from your goals? And are you following the same pattern of behavior and expecting a different result? That's the definition of insanity. A lot of you are still in the same financial behavior. And I don't know what you're expecting to happen, but it's not going to happen unless you grab onto this. Folks, in 5 years from now, everyone's going to know crypto. Right now, I still think only 5% of the world owns crypto. If you want to get in on the big money, act now, okay? Act now. This is the video we promised at londonreal.tv/bonus. It's going to show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. And just enjoy that video. It's going to teach you a lot. And of course, if you want, join us on our next live call. Send Martini a message right now, and she'll get you a link on Monday or Thursday. And join us. You'll really enjoy going to those. Folks, I'd love to answer some questions here. Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate that. And cameras on. So Jackie, appreciate you, John and Doreen, Steve, always pleasure, and everybody else here. I love teaching this stuff. And it really just reminds me of, how you can have everything you want in your life. All you have to do is just decide that you want it and then to start to attract it. And it's something actually I learned at a 7-day retreat with Joe Dispenza here in London a couple of years ago. And I went to that thing. And the funny thing is, Martini, is there was a bunch of our investment club members actually at the Dispenza conference. And we were all remarking that Dispenza and crypto seem to go together, because in Dispenza's world, you're really manifesting all these amazing things in your life. And with crypto, things happen in like light speed. And so I walked out of that 7-day retreat 3 years ago, and I thought, you know what, I am just going to pull all of the projects and all of the members and all of the wealth towards me and stop trying to chase it. And ever since I made that decision, everything has gone incredibly, incredibly well. And I would say the same is true for you. If you make a decision that you're going to pull these things into your life, then you'd be amazed of how quickly that can change. And one thing that Joe always said to me is, he said, that doesn't mean you don't have to do the work, Brian. And he said, that doesn't mean that you don't have to go ahead and take those risks. He said, I have Dr. John Martini in my studio on Friday, and he was in the movie The Secret. And he said, Brian, everyone misunderstood The Secret. They said, you just sit back and wait for everything to come to you. He said, no. He said, yes, you can manifest, and yes, you can attract, but you also have to take action. And Joe Dispenza says the same thing. He said, you know what? You must change in order to get different results in your life. Until you change, you're not the person that is ready to bring these things into you. And one of the things to change is to go headfirst into risk, to put yourself around winners, to put yourself in positions where that happens. You can't keep the same peer group sitting in the same corner with the same habits and expect a new reality. You have to become a new version of you if you want to reap the rewards of that new person that you want to be. And it's a great analogy, and it's something I always think about. And so just think about that for yourself. The beautiful thing is that you can make that decision immediately and choose to be that new person and start acting like that new person. And I think that's the opportunity we have here in the Investment Club. Martini, I can see you're here, and luckily not on a call with somebody who's trying to join us right now. And I was wondering if I could get your thoughts, since you speak to thousands of people about this club.
Yes, absolutely. And great call today, Brian. It was good to see everybody on the line here. And Brian, I remember when you went on that retreat in London with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it was really cool to see your transformation when you were doing your walking meditations and you were talking about the quantum field and all that good stuff and doing all your teachings. And I remember just like looking at you and thinking like, all right, Brian's gone off the deep end, but we're here for it. But it was really cool to see how all of us in somehow, some way got on board with that. And somehow, some way, as if by magic or by the quantum field and the walks and all that good stuff, I actually started to do them too in my own way, even though I didn't know much about Joe Dispenza. But it was beautiful to see all the people that we were attracting inside of the investment club as a result, and the caliber of deals, the harmony, like everything that was coming in. It was like we were manifesting like crazy. And I do believe that Story Protocol came around that time. I think that who was it? Mochaverse came around that time, and then also Dan Tapiero. They all came around at that time that we were in that energy and in that field. And so it was just really cool to just see how we have grown as from the seed of an idea of the investment club to where we are now, and each and all of us doing the work that we needed to do to make this a massive success. And it also reminded me, Brian, as you were talking about Story Protocol today, and I'm so excited for this to really pop off, about pineapple season. I don't know if you guys know this, but it takes about 18 months for a pineapple to grow from the time you plant it, from the time it comes into fruition. And it's really interesting to see that investments are kind of the same way. When you plant the seed of an investment, and at later time, if you give it some time, give it some room to grow, give it the love and the nurturing and the great intentions, it's like these investments are starting to pop off. And so it's just beautiful for me to just witness how the seed of an idea can come to fruition, but it takes time, it takes due diligence, it takes a community, it takes the love, it takes the pouring in for these things to come. And so I'm just proud to say that we stayed through it. We weathered the storm, we weathered through the bear markets. Now we're going into altcoin season, and it truly feels like, I even feel like it's brighter out here in Vegas, that pineapple season is indeed coming. And so for each and all of you here that are on the line here, my question for you is, what seeds are you planting for yourselves? What investments are you planting for yourselves and for your loved ones that at a later time, things will come into fruition for you? What ideas, what dreams, what aspirations do you have for yourself and for your loved ones? And understand this, that if you plant those seeds and you get with the right community and you have the right intentions and you pour the love in and you put the time in and the effort in, they will grow and you will harvest. So we definitely want to support you guys if you are wanting to plant those seeds and make those investments in these early stage companies that are here to change the world. We definitely want to support you in that. So I put some links inside of the chat below. The very first link is for you to check out the Investment Club page, and that's going to give you a rundown detail of the Investment Club, what we're all about, what we stand for, and where we see ourselves going together as a community for the next 10 years plus. You'll also get to take a look at the caliber of deals from the time that we started in 2022 all the way up until now, and you'll get to see our growth and our evolution over the last few years. And then, so what I would recommend doing is jotting down a few notes and a few questions. So by the time you do get on the line with me, the call will run much smoother. So the next step is when you're ready to go ahead and book a call and you're ready to join us now and start investing alongside us now, the next step is to go ahead and schedule a call with me. But as Brian says, I only want to talk to people who are serious, and serious means you are ready to invest now and you're ready to start planting those seeds of investments now. And then if you don't see a time that's available on my calendar, please be sure to go ahead and send me a private message on Facebook Messenger. That's always the fastest way to get me. Or you can send me an email at martini@londonreal.tv and let me know who you are, where you're from, and the best time to get a hold of you within your time zone, and we'll definitely make it work. And then, of course, the last thing here, I know that Brian does an amazing job of explaining what the investment club is. You can definitely sense his passion and his enthusiasm for our community, but we want you to experience us in real time. All right. So that very last link there is a link to join us on one of our Monday or Thursday investment club calls that are live, where you'll get to see CEOs coming to pitch their company to us. You'll see Brian doing the Shark Tank style questions, and you'll get to see how our community from all over the world, and I would say about a good 98% of us are on board with the Joe Dispenza as well. So you'll get to see how all of us get together and you know, you'll get to see how we invest in these early stage companies. So that last link there is for you to go ahead and join us live. So once again, guys, it was great to have everybody here. Really think about the possibilities, think about what it is that you want, think about the investments that you're wanting to make, and think about the future that you are wanting to have for yourselves, for your loved ones, and ultimately for the world. So, all right, guys, we hope to see you on the inside soon, and back to you, Brian.
All right, give it up for Martini, doing amazing things in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. And, you know, Martini and I created this investment club together, and it's really book a call with her because she's spoken to so many people on the whole range. People who thought I could never join it in a million years. That was Petya, right? And now Petya is probably going to make more money than anybody. And people that thought, oh, that's just not for me. I don't understand crypto, or the people now that are understanding most of the deals. So it's just an incredible thing to do. And yeah, you're giving me flashbacks, Martini, to that Dispenza conference. You know, I really needed to go to that, and it was just this beautiful moment. And I remember Joe reached out to come on London Real because he was coming to town, and he had been on the show 5 times, and he'd been featured in at least 2 of my movies before. And I'd never been to one of his events. And he was like, Brian, we do these events in Cancun on the beach, and we're all outside. And I was like, yeah, it sounds a little wacky, Joe. And I only knew Joe, me and him in a room talking, and he was impressive, of course. And then, but I didn't want to ask to come to the conference because, you know, I thought, well, I'm not going to go for 7 days. And then at the end of the interview, he said, why don't you stop by? And I was like, I don't want to stop by, Joe. I said, that seems like I don't want to just show up and just do it kind of half-heartedly. And he said, no, just stop by. And I came by, and then I just couldn't leave. And the walking meditation was a game changer. I mean, I literally did it this morning, and I do it pretty much every morning now, nonstop. And it's an incredible game changer. And I think Martini can notice it. Yeah. Whenever I'm giving Martini a hard time, she said, Brian, would you please do more of your walks, please? Yeah. Right. And so, and whenever she does that, you know, we get more deals. And so she's right. And so look, it does start with you and a change of your own mindset and your own energy. But if you're willing to change yourself and become the person that is wealthy in all ways, if you can make those changes in yourself, which is not always easy, but if you can, then you can become the person that is naturally wealthy. And of course, wealth can mean a lot of things. That's health, that's relationships, that's money, that's everything. But we all have that in us. And that's what makes London Real very different, because we've got, you know, not only the finance part, not only the crypto part, but we got the Dispenza part, and we got all sorts of parts around us. And that's why our group gets us on so well together. And that's the last thing I'll say is that we don't think making money is the end goal. We think this is just part of the process that allows you to live your best life. And I think that's what makes us very different than anybody in the finance space or in the crypto space. Most people think, oh, well, once you make 50 million, you're all set. And look, I've been in a place, and when I was in banking, where I had made some money, and it didn't make me happy. So we understand that the money here is just a means of you going on to find a real purpose. And that's also what makes us different. And also, we love empowering the ecosystem with our investments and empowering great people and great ideas. And that feels amazing too. So look, I really appreciate everybody here. I had some great conversations and DMs with John and Jackie, and I hope you're booking calls with Martini and just to talk to her next. And John, of course, we'll see you on the course on Monday. And Jackie, I think we're going to see you on the course on Monday too. So great to see you there. Steve is graduating this week, as is Doreen, and we're going to miss you guys. But I'm expecting to see you in the investment club soon and coming in for the big wins. And yeah, we have some really exciting deals coming up soon, as well as the Dan Tapiero opportunity part 2. That's going to be epic. And he's told me, he's like, Brian, I think we're going to make even more money on this next fund, which I was like, didn't think was possible, but he explained why it was. So it's going to be a great opportunity. That's it, folks. Just want to say thank you so much for being here. Like I said, reach out to Martini. It'll be a great move. And that's it. We'll see you on the inside of the next live call on Thursday. Come see us. It'll be amazing. All right. Lots of love, everybody. Bye. The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission?
Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics.
I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways.
I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals.
Just go in, bam, 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 bam.
This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals.
Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time.
I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business.
No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking.
If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.